Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the campus of CCBC Catonsville in Catonsville, Maryland. The host of the NJCAA Region 20, District, Mid-Atlantic District semifinal matchup in Division 2. This will see the number 9 nationally ranked Cape Fear Sea Devils coming all the way down from North Carolina, facing off against the Howard Dragons just a few miles down the road from this site. Mark Winkle bringing you this contest, and it should be a beauty. Two nationally top 10 ranked teams. Like I said, Cape Fear comes in as number 9. The Dragons come in at number 3. Cape Fear with a 5-2 record coming into this game, with both teams really just staying inside their own states, their own regions for the regular season with the COVID restrictions. So neither one of these teams have really played outside of their regions in this year. Cape Fear lost their opener to St. Andrews University, then went on a 5-game winning streak, beating some top-notch teams like Spartanburg Methodist, USC Lancaster, USC Salkehatchie, and Lancaster again, before falling to Daytona State College in their preparation game just 13 days ago. As for the Dragons, they come in with a perfect 9-0 record, which is how they got that number 3 ranking in the country, including defeating CCBC Essex twice, the first of which was with the Knights being the number 1 ranked team in the nation. Second time in the Region 20 championship game in a dramatic 2-1 victory where Howard scored a goal with just 44 seconds remaining in the game to take that championship. For the Sea Devils today, it will be freshman goalkeeper Brianna Vrules in goal. She has played in 6 games this year, starting 3 of them, comes in with an 88% save percentage and just a .72 goal allowed average per game. 15 saves with a 2-1 record, also has 2 shutouts to her name. For the Dragons, it will be returning All-American sophomore goalkeeper Haley Murray. She has barely been troubled in this season, having made just 28 saves in 9 games, but she does have an incredible 90% save percentage, a .34 goal allowed average, and 6 shutouts. So definitely 2 goalkeepers that are worthy of this level of play. On the other side of the ball, it will be all eyes for the Howard on number 6, Madeline Nichols, recently named to the first team all-region. 13 goals and 7 assists. She is the spark of that Dragons, as the Howard will go back to their normal 3-5-2 lineup with a 3-player backfield of Josie Stubbs, Claire Janish, and Celia Jackson from right to left. And we are underway here in Catonsville as the Dragons are in all white. We'll be shooting for the goal on the right of your screen. And Cape Fear in that light blue will be going to the goal on the left. As for Cape Fear, big storyline. Their leading goal scorer coming to this game with 7 goals, Taylor Spell. She is a scratch from the contest. Nobody else on the team has scored more than 4 goals. The next one that comes in is number 8, Natalie Halderman, with 4 goals. So it will be interesting to see if the Sea Devils struggle to put the ball in the net with their leading goal scorer not participating in this game. Throw in on the far side of the field. Stangerlin fighting for position, and it will be out for a corner kick. And that will be Madeline Nichols heading to the far corner to take it. We'll try to keep you up with the numbers here, but I have to admit that it is a little tough to see both sides' numbers from all the way up here. But that will be Nichols. She'll take a low one, curling towards the net, Cleared out by Cape Fear. That will be Halderman who gets control of it. Little give and go. As Cowan tries to get it back up to Halderman, and it will go out of play for another Dragons throw-in. Sea Devils, coached by Ryan Deppa in his 6th season with Cape Fear, has had a whole lot of success in his very strong start to his coaching career. And opposite of him is Kate Seagroves of the Dragons in her 22nd season as a coach. This is her first year in Division II. Had been a Division III coach prior to that, included 3 straight trips to the national tournament at Division III. Now moved up to Division II. A trip there as Lillian Scott it looks like it just had her legs tangled up, and the ball will roll all the way down to Rules. Rules in that bright red goalkeeper uniform. Have no problem catching which player she is out there. Same can be said for the Dragons goalkeeper Haley Murray in her neon pink uniform. This ball taken away by Haven Lewis. Lewis will look up, and it is intercepted by Jackson, but Jackson gives it straight back to to Lewis. And Lewis runs out of real estate on the far sideline. Jackson able to get up to Stangerlin. Stangerlin leaves it off for Nichols. Nichols will try a low cross in. Scott couldn't get around to it. Cleared out by Keely Bowen. Put right back into the box, and Nichols is found in the far corner. Nichols tries to dribble around. Nichols will load up. She'll take a shot. That one's blocked away. Awkward clearance by Stoltz as it goes right back to the box. Stangerlin tries to play it through, and Nichols just couldn't quite get there before Vrools is able to scoop it up. A strong start for Howard in this contest. Vrools punts it up. Zubak. Zubak again. And it will be Bowen trying to dribble across the length of the field now. Gets it wide to Lewis. Lewis plays it up for Halderman. Collision there as Powell just runs through Hadmaker. Play on. Nichols gets control, but she is shut down quickly on the counterattack opportunity. Have a fantastic viewing audience so far, and I have been informed that we have not only viewers up and down the East Coast, but also all the way on the West Coast as far as California, even some viewers from Japan. So no matter where you are watching this game, we thank you for tuning in to what should be a very entertaining and crucial soccer contest. Janish of the Dragons, long ball, headed forward by Nichols, gets it wide to Harriets. Harriets tries to get it around Bowen, but Bowen is able to clear it out. Harriets will go toe-to-toe there with Corbin, out for another throw-in. Nichols again tries to do the flick-on header. Zubak comes jumping through a crowd, but just heads it out of play. Cape Fear coming into this game, averaging 23.4 shots per game and 2.86 goals per game on the offensive side, as a foul is called. And it looks like it's going to be a penalty kick, as Lillian Scott was taken down in the box. And we are just about 7 minutes into this ball game, a little over 6 minutes. And just like that, Howard will have an opportunity to take the lead. It will be Madeline Nichols who steps up to it. Nichols so far is 3 of 3 on all of her PK opportunities. Nichols walks up, shot, goal! Madeline Nichols scores number 14 of the season with a very well-placed shot to the bottom right corner of the net. And just like that, the Dragons are ahead. So what a beautiful start for Howard, and you have to say they had it coming as the ball was in Cape Fear's half the entire first 6 minutes of the game, and that pressure paid off as Lillian Scott taken down in the box and Nichols calmly and coolly puts it in for Howard. Haley Murray, the Dragons goalkeeper, with her first touch of the game, is able to boot it to half field. Scott under pressure. Second try will go to Hatmaker. And a good job there by Isabel Covert. And on the second try there, Covert was called for a foul. She came from behind to try to poke that away, but in the end was called for a foul. This will be Janish stepping up to the ball for Dragons. Janish goes for a low one, deflected by Cape Fear, and it's going to be knocked down, then eventually picked up by Vrools. A little bit awkward there on the defensive side of Cape Fear, but ultimately able to limit any more damage for the time being. Zubak of the Dragons heads it first, gets taken down. Now another try. This is going to be Bejarano. Can't quite find a teammate, but it is settled down by Poel. Hit to the corner, and nobody from Cape Fear will be able to get to that one. And it appears we will have our first substitution of the game. So Tessa Sonati will get her first minutes of the game as she will replace Talia Stangerlin on that left side of the midfield. I mentioned before that the Dragons with a 3-5-2 formation and the strength and numbers that they have at the outside midfield allows them to really rotate those players and keep them fresh. Zubak able to win that away. Nauman gets up to Nichols. Nichols will try to play it forward. Zubak running all the way out. Zubak tries to get around, but it is touched away by Vrools. I wonder if she handed that ball outside of the box, but ultimately a really good play by Vrools to stop Zubak from being able to get around her. You know what? Looking on the replay, it looks like Vrools actually did a good job of just kicking it away and not getting her hands on it. So a really heads-up play by Vrools in goal. Well done by her. Now, speaking of which, a nice turn by Cowan. Cowan now gets around Stubbs, but Stubbs able to hold her up just long enough for Janish to clear it out. So Olivia Smith will come into the game for the first time for Cape Fear as she will replace Sydney Corbin in the midfield. Played up by Bowen. Trying to find Lewis. Given away, Sonati. Lewis just takes it off her, but a foul is called, and Lewis not happy with that call. She kind of stamped her foot at the referee blowing his whistle on that one. And it looked like Lewis may have clipped Sonati just a little bit in the ankle, but tough call either way. It will be Janish once again for the Dragons. Gets good height on this one, curls into the box, bounces all the way to Verrules on the one hop. A good opportunity for Howard, but ultimately nobody in white could get a foot on it. Have to give Cape Fear's defense credit for holding off those forwards from being able to get forward. Now it's going to be Scott trying to get it through. Shut down by Bejarano. Lewis. Still Lewis. Lewis gets around another one. Haven Lewis just trying to run down that far sideline all by herself and win to throw in. Cape Fear with their first opportunity to get down the field as a unit. This is Poel. Poel squares it back, looking for Cowan, and Hatmaker, right place, right time to take that one away. Cape Fear showing that they are capable of being in a dangerous spot too. This will be Poel. Poel will try a long shot, and Murray will play that easily off the one hop for the save. Long punt forward. Nichols trying to chase it down. Bowen under a lot of pressure in her own corner, and will do the wise thing of just playing it out of the corner. Harriet throws it in to Nichols. Nichols gets around Bowen. Oh, you know what? Bowen did a great job of recovering there and hits it out again. Bowen will have her hands full against Maddie Nichols. And Dragons will make another sub. taken quickly, and it will go out for another Howard throw-in. Covert started all 7 games this year and does have 1 goal to her name. It was a game-winning goal. So you can imagine that between her height and that strong left foot is able to make things happen if pushed forward. And the ball will go out for a goal kick, and Howard will now make another substitution. So Stangerlin will come back to the game, and this time she'll go to the right midfield on the wing with Rebecca Harriet getting her first break of the game. Mentioned before, Howard with great depth at that outside midfield spot, and they will just keep rotating and making advantage of the substitution rules. Nichols will play it forward to Kamara. Kamara trying to chase down. It's a foot race between Kamara and Covert. And oh no, Kamara goes down and might have pulled a muscle there as play will be stopped. We'll take an injury timeout and be back after the short break. So play will resume after that official timeout with Yassine Kamara attempting to walk off the field on her own power, but certainly looked like a unfortunate non-contact injury, which is usually not a good sign. We'll keep an eye on her. Anna Burns replacing Kamara on the front line for Howard. This will be Powell able to shrug off Nauman. Cowan and draws a foul as Nauman came in a little bit too heavy. Good run as Powell trying to direct traffic and couldn't quite get it to where she wanted. Comes back out to Bowen. Bowen gets around Stangerlin. Pokes it forward to Olivia Smith. Smith tries to go for the corner. Stangerlin, it's held in, and I think that went off Stangerlin. It certainly did. What a play by Olivia Smith to win her team a corner kick, hitting it off of the foot of Stangerlin. And Cape Fear with their second corner kick of the game, as it looks like number 9, Powell, will take it. Powell lifts into the box, headed by Covert. Stangerlin of the Dragons able to hit it away. Gets Right back to the corner. Halderman gets to the middle. Covert tries to play it across to her teammate. And Stoltz was at the edge of the box. Just didn't quite connect on that one. Lewis still trying to fight for possession. She wins it. Bejarano. Poel. Poel will try for a long shot. And this will go high and wide, but a good effort by her. And it looks like it was actually deflected by the Dragons and will be out for a corner kick. So a third corner kick for Cape Fear, and it will be once again Krista Ray Poel. And it looks like Cape Fear has changed their mind, as now it's going to be Covert who will come in and use that left foot to swing it into the box. 6 Sea Devils into the box. Off the volley, it's going to be awkward for Howard. It was shot first time by Pitts. And Howard will just be happy to clear that out after another dangerous opportunity for Cape Fear. It was Zoe Pitts who hit the volley, and Haley Murray came through and saved it. And a foul was called. Offside was called on Cape Fear. Janish goes for the corner. Finds Sonati. Nichols checks back to get possession. She finds Hatmaker, and now Howard will switch the field where there's some space to work with. She'll try to put it in, and taken away by Covert. Isabel Covert has now moved up to more of a midfield role and trying to get herself more involved in the game. Hit up by Halderman. This is a good through ball. It's Janish trying to chase it down. Haven Lewis gets to it first. Lewis into the box. Her shot blocked by Janish. Lewis will get to it again. She is quick. Gives it over to Smith. Smith jukes around, but Stangerlin comes back to block that one away. Now it's Stangerlin trying to get around. She'll play it up and cut out by Bowen. Burns under pressure. Flips it forward to Nichols. Nichols gets around Bowen. Now it's off to the braces. Nichols plays it into the box and cut out and played out by Abby Cohen. Excuse me, that was Gracie Stoltz for Cape Fear. And it looks like it will be an official's timeout for, I believe, a water break with the temperatures getting close to 90 out here. The referees will call for a water break. We'll take a quick break as well, and we'll be back with more exciting soccer action. We are back in action here in Catonsville, Maryland. Howard Community College ahead 1-0 over the Cape Fear Sea Devils with 22:33 left in the first half. Dragons dominated the first 10 minutes of the game, which resulted in them being able to get a penalty kick and converting on that. Since then, it has been much more even. If anything, it might have actually been more in favor of Cape Fear, who've really had the better chances to score. And they are right back at it as Krista Ray Powell dribbles it in. She lays it off for Halderman. Halderman plays into the box. Hatmaker. And then Janice tries to head it out. Not convincingly, though. Powell gets to the corner. Smith turns and faces. She will try a low cross, and Haley Murray will just watch it roll out for a goal kick. In fact, shots favor Cape Fear 4-1 right now. With Howard's lone shot being that penalty kick goal. So, in fact, argue that it is very much in the run of play is in favor of Cape Fear, but it is the Dragons ahead 1-0. Throw in, and it will deflect off of, I believe that is DeSheryl Hill, who is, yes, that is number 13 up front for Cape Fear. She's listed as a goalkeeper, but also appears to moonlight as a forward as well, with rules firmly entrenched between the pipes for Cape Fear, using every healthy body available to you, especially with it being this hot out and this late in the season. Taken away, Scott. Scott gives it off to Sonati. Dragons are on the break. Tessa Sonati into the box. And it has taken off her foot. She started taking down the box. Referee waves no fouls. Play continues. It finds its way back to the corner. Sonati chasing it down. And Sonati had tried to play through Zubak, who was wide open on the far post, but it was cut out. And just as that one is and cleared out by Cape Fear, but another great fast break opportunity for Howard. And Cape Fear will make another substitution. So Scarlett Prater will go into the game as she will replace Olivia Smith on the left side of their midfield. Jackson throws it in, chested down by Scott. Played out wide and not able to keep it in, but that could have been a good run. This is the district semifinals. The championship game for the Mid-Atlantic District will be played tomorrow at 3 p.m. on the campus of CCBC Dundalk against the winner of CCBC Essex and Sussex. At the moment, that game looks like Essex is ahead 1-0 over Sussex County. And we will keep an eye on that and keep you updated as Knights star forward Kara Dietrich has scored in the 20th minute in that contest. Long throw and flicked forward by Cape Fear. Now they're going to try to break. And Stoltz was begging for it. Now there's over the top. Awkward play. Nichols trying to get her foot on it. And ultimately, it looks like it was shielded quite well by that Cape Fear defense. And Vrools comes pouncing on top of the ball. That was Zoe Pitts, the defender out of Wilmington, North Carolina, with the critical play. Covert tries to play it up for Prater. Hatmaker is there to intercept it. Hatmaker plays it early to Nichols. Nichols has room to run onto it. Vroles comes out of the box. Nichols with the shot. Saved by Vroles. What a play by Vroles. Comes charging off her line to cut off the angle. And Nichols tried to chip it over. Just could not get enough height over Vroles to make it. But again, it is the Dragons looking for that counter-attacking opportunity. Cowan and Nichols battling for it. The assistant referee seems loath to make a call. It is going to be given to the Dragons. Thrown quickly into Stangerlin. Stangerlin crosses it into the middle. One hop, and Vroles jumps up to grab it with Sonati close by, looking to try to take advantage of any drop. Hunted out by Vroles. Zubak unable to control it. It will go out for a throw-in. Played to the corner by Stultz. Janish trying to usher it out, but the ball is rolling slowly. It stays in. Still in play as Janish unable to get that out. It's going to be played back in by Corbin. Headed away by Stubbs. Stultz gets it forward to Cowan. Cowan lays it off. Stultz, she'll try a shot. That's blocked away. Jackson trying to get out. Does not do it. Poel, she'll try a shot. That's blocked. Hatmaker, and just plays that out. And the Sea Devils are bringing the pressure right now. Howard just barely hanging on by a thread. None of these shots really troubling Murray too much, but the defensive ability of these Dragons to try to get in the way of any scoring opportunities has been successful thus far. This is Bejarano. And a great job by Lillian Scott coming all the way back from their forward line to just boot it out of play and try to relieve some of the pressure. Howard now trying to push up a little bit. Bejarano gets it back. Nichols with the back check. And Nichols will come through the foot of Covert and called for a foul. This will be Zoe Pitts. Looking like she's going to take the kick. About 7 yards behind the ball. We'll get a running start into it. She'll go for the line drive play. Hatmaker kicks it out. Collected by Bejarano. Prater finds Bowen. And tries to get back to Prater, but Prater a little bit slow getting off to her run forward. Don't quite connect. Stubbs on the different page than Stangerlin just throws it right back to Sea Devils. And Howard will just go for the punt and try to move forward out of their own zone. Pitts goes long. Jackson volleys it out of the air. And a good hustle play by Sonati to keep it in. Now Howard's trying to try to go the other way. Zubak stonewalled by Lewis. Covert picks it up for Cape Fear. Plays it wide. This time Prater is able to get forward. Prater cuts it back to the middle. Stangerlin cuts inside of her. Prater will try another time. This time she'll go up against Stubbs. And that will go out. And it will actually be offsides called on Cape Fear. Entering the game for the Dragons, number 16, Jenna Nauman. And for the Sea Devils, number 8, Natalie Halderman. So Halderman returns for Cape Fear as they were just giving her a quick break to try to get her back with fresh legs. And Nauman will come back into the game as she will take over in the center midfield role. Covert gives that away. Nichols gets pushed in the back a little bit by Bowen. Some testy play between those two. And you have to imagine as this game continues to get deeper and deeper, the tension is only going to rise. Nichols keeps that in play, but gives it away. Bowen plays it up. Zubak, she'll hit into the box. Scott will chase it down. Scott into the box. Lillian Scott, and that is hit away at the last minute by Zoe Pitts. And Howard wins themselves another corner kick. This will be number 6, Madeline Nichols, going to the corner. She will hit the outswinging right foot. Nichols into the box. Hit away by Covert. Back to Nichols. Nichols will try a second time. Goes for the back post this time. And Janish unable to keep it in. And it's going to go out for a goal kick. For Cape Fear, their entire roster is consisting of ladies born or from North Carolina, with the one exception of goalkeeper Brianna Vrules, who is from Miramar Beach, Florida. As for Howard, their entire roster is from Maryland, most of which coming from Howard County, as well as quite a few from right here in Catonsville, as head coach Kate Seagroves has had great success in recruiting out of Catonsville High School. Jackson goes wide to Sonati. Sonati tries to play it up for Scott. Scott can't get a touch as Pitts just overpowers her and plays it out. Quick throw in back into Scott. She tries to turn and again comes charging in as Lewis, and a foul is called. So from the wing, just inside of 20 yards, but a tough angle will be Clara Janish coming forward. Not really an opportunity for a shot unless you really catch the goalie snapping. So she will try to just curl into the box, and it's going to be hit away by Pitts. And it will be a Howard throw-in as Janish will just go right back to her defensive position. We've seen the effectiveness of Clara Janish, what she can do from those set pieces all year long, including that first goal against CCBC Essex in that regional final, headed in by Nichols. The Dragons haven't really been challenged a whole lot this season, with the exception of those 2 games against Essex. In fact, they come into this game averaging 4.5 goals per game and 33.5 shots per game, allowing just 5.8 shots per game in return. So Smith and Cowan will come back into the game for Cape Fear, with Burns returning to the contest for Howard. just under 8 minutes of play left in this first half. Pitts, booming kick upfield. Bounces once before Janish comes to it. Given away though. It will find its way to Poel. Poel curls into the box, headed away by Stubbs. Burns will head it back towards the other side. Nichols will try to play it forward for her teammate Harriet. Just a little too hard on that one. That is played over the head of Jackson, but Janish cleans up in the safety. And it looks like there might have actually been a deflection, as it will be a Howard throw-in. So Sonati will come back into the game as she will take over for Stangerlin on the right midfield role. And it will be Cape Fear who gets control again. Lewis plays it long. Stoltz can't get through. We'll try again, and was Hatmaker with that neon green headband. Burns will just run through the back of Keely Bowen, and a foul is called. And Burns will not only earn the foul, but also a little scolding by the referee there. Probably trying to just advise to calm it down a little bit. Pitts will play it short to Bowen. Finds Bejarano. Inside the middle to a wide open. Oh my goodness. Gracie Stoltz was in acres of space behind Howard defense, but the reason why she was is because she was in offsides position. And a good job by the Howard defense as they moved up as a unit to catch Stoltz offsides by a yard or two. Smith heads that out of play. Stubbs throws it up. Burns, she'll try a mortar shot of a cross, and that will find the wrong back netting as it goes off of the protective netting behind the goal for a goal kick. Poel goes to the corner for Stoltz. Stoltz one-on-one against Jackson. Now she's getting help. Halderman calling for the ball. Halderman and Hatmaker collide, and it will be a foul called on Hatmaker. And again, the bombing run of Natalie Halderman creates an opportunity for Cape Fear. This will be Gracie Stoltz. Bends it into the box, headed straight up by Hatmaker. The player's trying to find it in the sun. Ball is played off a couple of players, and it will be called for a goal kick. I believe that was Abby Cowan in the middle there, trying to fight her way through the Dragon defense. It was Cowan. She showed off her strength with 3 Dragons trying to just drag her from getting away from the ball. Ultimately are able to do it. But again, the Dragons defense starting to show some frailties, but holding firm thus far. Burns put some good pressure on Rules, as Howard will now be able to switch the field. Nichols. She'll just hit it first time towards the box. It bounces away. Sonati gets control. Flips it to Burns. Burns tries to lay it off for Zubak. Zubak under double coverage, and Pitts takes it away. Now Pitts will look for counter. Cowan Checks back for the pass. Giving away. Burns plays it forward to Nichols. Nichols is into the box. And a great play by Haven Lewis to chase it down as the speed of Lewis has saved Cape Fear once again. Covert now trying to push it the other way. Powell gets around Hatmaker. Plays it up to a wide open Olivia Smith. Smith gets her head up. Going up against Stubbs. She will get it forward to Stoltz. Lays it off for Powell. Powell just hits it into the body of Jackson. And Jackson really pushing high up from her defensive spot and cannot win the ball away. But Harriet's covering for her on the defensive line. Now Harriet's will try to go forward, and that is cut out by Lewis. Covert goes to the corner. Olivia Smith takes a first touch into the box. Smith cuts it inside. Smith cuts it one more time towards the end line this time. And eventually it will be Janish is able to take it away, and it will be out for a throw-in. So Hill will get back into the game for Cape Fear as it is thrown in to Covert. Covert tried to hit a volley cross and just slices off the outside of her foot and out for a throw-in. Sea Devils have really been trying to attack on the wings, taking advantage of the three backfield setup of the Dragons, which opens up the wings, the sidelines behind the midfield of Howard. Really forces those Dragon midfielders. Right now it's Sonati and Harriet's to try to follow those runs. Otherwise it leaves the fullbacks of Jackson and Stubbs quite vulnerable to being beaten. Really puts a lot of pressure on that center back of Janish to just clean up a lot of danger. And right now it looks like Cape Fear, and that will actually be halftime. So an exciting first half here in Catonsville, but it will be the Dragons who will take a 1-0 lead into the intermission. We'll be back after a quick break to take a look at the halftime stats. Welcome back to Catonsville, Maryland. After a really tense first half between these two teams, not a ton of great scoring opportunities, but certainly getting into the danger zones. As we will take a look at those first half stats, Cape Fear led the way with 5 shots, just 2 of them on goal, with 1 of them saved by Haley Murray. For the Dragons, they had 2 shots, both were on goal, one of which was that penalty kick that was scored by Madeline Nichols in the 7th minute of this contest. She also had the second shot that was saved late in the first half. Cape Fear, 3 corners, Dragons with just 2. And the Sea Devils called for offsides 4 times in that first half. Fouls were 5-3 in favor of Howard. No cards shown in that opening 45 minutes. Mentioned before, Madeline Nichols, she has both the shots for Howard and really has been the only point of threat for any white short shirt. Dragons did have a couple of other opportunities but could not get a shot off. As for Cape Fear, number 9, Krista Ray Powell, she's got 3 shots, 1 was on goal. Zoe Pitts and Isabel Covert accounted for the other 2 shots. Brianna Rules with 1 save in that first half. We'll take one more quick break, one more back, second half action about to start here in this Mid-Atlantic District semifinal game. And second half is underway here in Catonsville, Maryland, as Cape Fear will go right at the gates. Pitts with an early shot, and that will be grabbed by Murray, but right off the whistle in this second half. Cape Fear showing that they want to be the aggressors as they have a goal to chase. Murray boots it. It will bounce 3/4 of the way down the field before it's finally hit away by Isabel Covert. Again, the winner of this contest will play in the Mid-Atlantic District Championship game tomorrow at 3 p.m., which will be played at CCBC Dundalk. And as the results stand right now, it is going to be the Essex Knights who will be in there as they are currently leading Sussex County 1-0 in the other semifinal. Howard has earned themselves a corner kick. Nichols gets some backspin into it. Bounces its way to Scott. Scott will try a shot that's blocked away. Finds its way back to Nichols. Nichols will try a cross again. It's bouncing around still in the box. And it will be Scarlett Prater who hits it away. So both teams with early opportunities in the second half. Nauman to the corner, being chased down by Bowen. And Nauman wins a throw-in. winner of the Mid-Atlantic District Tournament will get an automatic bid into the NJCAA Division II National Tournament in Evans, Georgia. There is still the opportunity for teams that don't win the tournament to get into the national tournament, as there are 4 at-large bids this year. Harriets with a cross to the far side of the box. Stangerlin collects. She hits it all the way back to her defender. This is Celia Jackson. That's off the shoulder of Bowen and will be cleared out. Harriets will try again. And it looks like Bowen will comfortably be able to get control of this, but she's under pressure now as she tries to turn upfield. Played through the legs of Harriets, but Harriets gets the inside position. Zubak trying to find Scott. Now it's Hatmaker. Gets around Prater, but Prater is able to stop it. Hatmaker on the second try hits it right to Covert. And Covert will play it back. Stubbs out for a throw-in. This is the first year the Howard Community College Dragons have been a scholarship program for their women's soccer team. Head coach Kate Seagroves was originally afraid that her squad was not going to be able to hold up to the talent level that Division II would bring, as most of it are former Division I teams that dropped down to Division II. However, thus far, she has proved herself wrong more than anybody, as the team is 9-0, the number 3 ranked team in the nation, going up against a national top 10 ranked team and currently winning 1-0 in the second half. Cape Fear trying to find a way back in. Cape Fear has had the better of this matchup in the history between these two teams. In fact, in the recorded history of Howard, which dates back to 2013, Cape Fear is 3-1 in the 4 contests between these two teams. And in fact, the Dragons have only scored 1 goal in those 4 games, and that was in a 1-0 win in 2015. Other than that, it was a 4-0 win, 5-0 win, and a 1-0 win, all in favor of Cape Fear. So this is a matchup that has been decidedly favored for Cape Fear. But right now, it is Howard in control. Keep in mind, all 4 of those games were played in Wilmington, North Carolina, the home of Cape Fear. Whereas this, for the first time in over a decade, that the contest between these two teams has been played in Maryland. Perhaps that making a bit of a difference. The atmosphere just a little bit different in Maryland. Throw in. Stangerlin heads it forward. Nichols picks it up. Nichols tries to put it around for Harriets. Stubbs will pinch forward. Cannot get it through Sydney Corbin. Now a tussle between the two, and Corbin is called for the foul as Stubbs had gone to ground. It is going to be Janish once again who comes up, and this was a very similar spot of where the Dragons had a free kick in that regional championship game against Essex. Janish, she puts it into the box. Headed by Nichols, that's by Scott. And a headed shot by number 9, Lillian Scott, is saved by Catonsville. So Brianna Vruel's in the right place at the right time to stop that shot. And a great play by Scott to do a little behind flick-on header and put it on net. Now Cape Fear going the other way. This is going to be Prater, taken away by Jackson. Prater tries to win it back, and it will be out for a Howard throw-in. Halderman, who has moved back to a midfield role. Looked like she was one of the more dangerous players for Cape Fear at the forward, but now they have gone to a three forward line of Stoltz, Pitts, and Prater right now, with Halderman, Corbett, and Poel as the three midfielders. That's given away. Stangerlin takes it away. Howard on the fast break. Stangerlin plays it forward to Nichols. Nichols in a fast break. Nichols gets behind. Shot. Goal! Madeline Nichols does it again. And what a through ball by Talia Stangerlin. As Stangerlin played the through ball and from midfield to set Nichols free. And Madeline Nichols scores her second of the game, her 15th of the season, and Howard lead 2-0. And for Stangerlin, that is her second assist of the year, and what a time to pick it up. As she really made that play, she stole it away, was able to dribble up, take some of the pressure of the Cape Fear defense to focus on her, and just set Nichols free right through the middle of the field. Now Howard has just 37 minutes to try to hold on. Played into the box. Now Stoltz is free. Stoltz shot. Stoltz scores! And what a response for Cape Fear as Gracie Stoltz is found wide open in the middle of the box. And give the assist to Sydney Corbin with the cross. And just like that, Cape Fear has gotten themselves on the scoreboard. Cape Fear goal, scored by number 23, Gracie Stoltz, assisted by number 21, Sydney Corbin. So for Stoltz, that is just her second goal of the season, and Corbin with our first assist of the season. And now Cape Fear is starting to put the fear into Howard, knowing that it is just a one-goal lead once again. This one is given back to Nichols. Nichols going for the hat trick. Nichols shot, score! Madeline Nichols stuns Cape Fear as that giveaway goes right to Nichols, and it is a hat trick. Give the assist to Tessa Sonati as she was able to just cross that one early, and Nichols does not miss that one. And Howard once again up 3-1. Dragons goal, scored by number 6, Madeline Nichols. Assisted by number 3, Tessa Sonati. So Nichols picks up her hat trick, her third of the game, 16th of the season. And for Sonati, her 6th assist of the year. And Howard doubles up their lead to give them that all-important insurance goal once again. And just as Cape Fear was able to put one on the scoreboard, sometimes they say the most dangerous lead in soccer can be 2 goals as you start to get complacent. Howard just responded right back after a goal to score their own. Headed forward. And you have to imagine the goals will keep coming as Cape Fear will be forced to push more and more bodies forward trying to find the goals, and that will leave them susceptible to counterattacks. This will be Smith. Lewis able to find a wide open Stoltz, and good play by Jackson to recover and take that off her foot. Stangerlin keeps it in. Fighting with Halderman. Halderman went to the ground. Play on. A push to the ground. Referee blows his whistle but hasn't pointed direction yet. Not sure who the foul is on. And has called for a stoppage of the clock. And perhaps he's just going to have a conversation between the two players. Perhaps a card will be shown here. And the referee will bring Haven Lewis and Madeline Nichols together and simply says, no more from either of you. Some gesturing between the two players as neither seems to be happy with the referee intervening himself between the two. But it will be a foul on Cape Fear, so Howard will get the free kick. Janish into the box. Just outside of the box. First to it is Keely Brown. Brown trying to break out. Gives that away. Zubak to Stubbs, and Zanotti just flips it up to herself under pressure from Pitts, and it will be a throw-in for Cape Fear. They go quick as they try to fast break. Stoltz didn't quite have her eyes on the ball, and it looked like it hit off the back of her foot, running away from it. So Harriets will go back in, replacing Stangerlin. And an update from Dundalk as Kara Dietrich has scored her second of the game, and the Essex Knights now ahead 2-0 on Sussex County. And as the results stand right now, we would have a repeat of the regional championship for the district championship if the two teams were able to hold on. But still plenty of time in both games. We have 33 minutes here, 23 minutes over in Dundalk. Lewis heads the ball out for a second time. Nichols cuts it around Lewis. Cross in, Sonati, swing and a miss, strike one. It goes to Hatmaker. Hatmaker will try it. Sonati with the header, and she heads it just over the goal. A great couple of chances for Howard. And ultimately, it was a headed shot by Sonati. Just could not keep it down as it rolled off the top of her head and through the goalposts. The football goalpost, that is. The American football goalpost, that is, for those that are particular about such things. Rules. Punts it forward, laid off. Hit booming shot, or hit booming through ball up into the air. Pitts comes down with it for Cape Fear. Pitts will flick it back, trying to catch Howard off guard, but was not on the same page as her teammates. Now it's Nichols. Nichols plays it forward early for Scott, who is nowhere close to that one. And it will be Keely Bowen who is able to collect and turn. She gives that one away cheaply, though, to Sonati. Plays it early. Nichols tries to hold off Halderman, unable to do so. It is going to go to the corner for Sonati. Sonati is able to turn inside. Slide tackle from behind by Bowen. Play is said to keep going as Bowen got the ball cleanly. What an angle on that slide tackle by her. It was a dangerous play, but able to take the ball away and not make contact until after she had won the ball from Sonati. Bodies were flying all over the place. But ultimately, it's just going to be a throw-in called. Once again, that's Scott going to the ground for Howard. Played up for Stoltz. Stoltz lays it off for Cowan. And it's going to be Cape Fear off to the races. Cape Fear, it's going to get Stoltz around Janish. Hatmaker is on the chase. Stoltz still trying to go through it. Hatmaker takes the ball away. What a defensive play by Kayla Hatmaker. And now it's going to be Sonati the other way, trying to see if they can catch Cape Fear. A little fatigued from going back and forth so much, but that one not controlled, except by Isabel Covert of the Cape Fear Sea Devils. Halderman playing with fire a little bit, but ultimately is able to get it forward. Stoltz has room to run behind Stubbs. Janish was left on an island defensively. That's going to hit forward. This is Olivia Smith. Hit away by Janish. Halderman. And once again, Howard clears the danger. Stoltz is offsides on that one. Once again, the Howard defense moved up together and caught Stoltz offside, who couldn't quite get back on in time. We are under 30 minutes of play. The Howard Dragons starting to sense that they are really looking good for that championship game spot. If they can just hold on, Cape Fear really starting to realize that they have got to turn up the pressure, and that ball is going more and more towards the wings, trying to take advantage of that deficiency of the Howard defense. And the Howard midfield is really starting to check back, trying to help out their defense, and Howard will make a couple of subs. So Juliana Hill will get her first action of the game as she will replace Lily Scott up front, and Stangerland will return as Nauman tried a through ball, and that was too far forward. Rules. Hill able to win it for Howard. Nichols, she's got room to shoot here. It decides to pass it off to Stangerland, who's got a little bit more room on the outside, but is closed down. Bowen wins it away. Now Bowen gets around another Dragon. Passes it up to Stoltz. Stoltz can't quite get control of it. But a nice play by Bejarano as she just cut right inside of Howard's forwards, takes it away. This is Halderman. Halderman tries to just run through the Howard defense, the midfield, but couldn't get through the defense. And Hill will be offsides on that play as she tried to hold a run, and Stangerland just couldn't quite get it up to her. And I believe that is the Howard coaching staff telling Stangerland you had room to run for it, and then telling Hill that a diagonal run there would be preferable. That one's given away, but Stangerland tried to get it up to Nichols. Covert finds Pitts. Heavy touch. And it will be Harriet's. And a bad pass by Harriet's as that one is just hit right to the lady in blue. Smith. And that's given away. So some sloppy play from both sides right now. And now it's going to be Zubak getting wide to Stangerland. Stangerland trying to get around Bowen, but Bowen just bodies her off. Still Bowen. Now it's Juliana Hill. Hill to the corner. She'll go for the shot. And that shot from an impossible angle will go over the net. Probably would have been better off going for a cross there as Madeline Nichols was anxiously awaiting service. Pitts tries to get around Hatmaker, and Hatmaker again just takes the ball right off of her foot. Hill couldn't quite win the ball, and Nichols was waiting on the near sideline as she had room to run if Hill could get it through, but it's going to be Cape Fear instead. Prater to the corner. Prater one-on-one is able to pass it in. Stoltz lays it off. Pull, shot, goal! What a build-up and goal as number 9, Krista Ray Poel puts it in, scored off of the assist by Gracie Stoltz. Stoltz, her second assist of the game. So for Poel, that is her first of the game. And her second of the season. As for Stoltz, that was her first assist of the game, and that was also her first assist of the season. But Stoltz now with a goal and an assist in this game. And once again, it is just a 1-goal lead for Howard. Had a feeling after this frantic start of this second half that goals would be coming fast and furious, and sure enough, 4 second half goals, and we are just 20 minutes into the second half. Cape Fear with another opportunity. Pitts tries to point in the direction she wanted Stoltz to go to. Sonati able to catch up to this one, and a poor touch there gives it away. Halderman just hits it up. Janish right back, and Sonati will get another chance. Lewis plays it forward. Stoltz is onside. Stoltz is in. Shot by Stoltz. Saved by Murray. A really good play by Gracie Stoltz as she was able to hit it for the bottom right corner. And Murray dove for it low and was able to take that goal away from Cape Fear. What a save by the All-American goalkeeper, Haley Murray. Hard tackle by Lewis. Foul is called. And Lewis has already gotten warned by the referee earlier in this half. She's going to have to be careful as the referee will take note of the fact that she has been involved in some questionable plays. Janish will take the free kick for Howard. Get some good height on this one. Into the box. Headed backwards by Covert. It falls to Sonati. Sonati tries to volley. Into Nichols. Nichols shot saved by Vroels. Maddie Nichols with a chance to make it her 4th goal of the game. But Vroels able to just be in the right spot as she came off her line and took away any angle. And a trip there. And clock is stopped. And I believe this will be the first card of the game. And it will be shown to Krista Ray Poel. Oh, excuse me. It will go to number 20, Zoe Pitts. So Pitts becomes the first player to be booked in this game, and she'll be forced to take a seat as part of the rules. So now we'll give Janice another chance to chip into the box. Covert heads it away. Strong header by her. And it will go out of play. And you have to wonder if you are the Cape Fear coaching staff. And we will take an official's timeout for a water break. We'll be back after a short break. We have just over 22 minutes remaining left in this second half. Howard Community College Dragons holding on to a 3-2 lead over the Cape Fear Community College Sea Devils, as that cross by Scott will dribble its way to the waiting arms of Brianna Rules. Cape Fear right now have also adopted a 3-5-2 formation, but you have to imagine that they need to continue to try to press higher and higher up the pitch. Nauman, good sprint by her to try to put pressure, and Cape Fear forced to just boot it deep. Push in the back as Stoltz just runs through Hatmaker, and a foul is called. And the referee actually goes to have a conversation with Hatmaker. I wonder if she had some words regarding that play, and the referee is trying to calm the situation down. Janish hits it low. Halderman first to it. Halderman goes to the corner. Flicked on by Cowan. Hill trying to chase it down, and it's going to be Stangerlin coming all the way back. And she will be able to at least dribble out of the danger zone. Hill plays it back to her defensive line. Halderman. She's got turn. Plays it up. Stoltz. Stoltz goes to the corner. Finds Prater. And that will be knocked out of play for a throw-in, as Sonati was quick to close it. Prater will throw it in from deep inside the Howard territory. A short throw-in knocked out once again. She'll try the other way this time. So it goes to Cowan. Cowan tries to play it in for Stoltz. Nauman hits it out of play, but Covert is once again there to keep it in the danger. Howard cannot get out of their own half right now, as Cape Fear has pushed everybody forward, all 10 bodies in front of the midline. You have to wonder if the Dragons can hold up to this relentless pressure by the Sea Devils. Collision there between Sonati and Prater, I believe. Referee will now signal to have the clock stopped. I was wondering if he was going to let the clock continue to run with an injured player down in the corner. Referee has not yet signaled for the need of a trainer to come onto the field, and now he has signaled just that. We'll take a quick injury timeout. Be back after this short break. So that was number 9, Krista Ray Powell, who was down. She's now able to limp off the field on her own power, and Zoe Pitts has returned into the game for the Sea Devils. Played over the top. Murray comes out and a push from behind by Stoltz as she shoved Hatmaker, and the referee will calm things down. He will now go talk to Hatmaker once again, and I have to imagine this is for the same reason, and the clock will be stopped once again. And the referee will now have a conversation with Stoltz and say, no more from you. So, referee handing out a whole lot of verbal warnings. So far, only one in the form of a card. Murray forced to put on the ground, and that is unfortunate for Howard as she scuffed that play. Now it's to Stoltz. And I'm sure Murray would have much rather wanted to punt that ball out. It is played forward, but again, Halderman takes control for Cape Fear. A nice touch by Jackson, gets it wide to Snotty. Snotty just runs straight into Lewis, and referee with a no call there on that big collision. But it will go out for a throw-in. So Smith and Corbin return into the game for Cape Fear, with Prater and Bejarano exiting. Pitts into the middle of the field, cuts it back on Scott. Pitts throwing her shoulder into it, still trying to get control, fighting through the midfield of Howard. Pitts still with possession, and just ultimately goes backwards to Halderman to keep control. Stangerlin tries to run through it. This is given away. Hatmaker up to Nichols. Nichols is onside, held on by Lewis. Nichols is off to the races. Nichols with the long shot, and it will go over the goal. And Nichols was that close from scoring her fourth of the game. And that is going to be the name of the game for the rest of the way, as Cape Fear will keep putting the pressure on, but they will be open to counterattacks as Madeline Nichols, that's what she does best. Played back by Covert. Sloppy touch. It will be Bowen who gets to it before Nichols, as I think Nichols was still catching her break after that 50-yard run. And she does signal to her teammate to calm it down a little bit. In fact, asking for more teammates to come forward. Stangerlin will throw it in to Scott. Scott towards the middle. Only Sonati was there, surrounded by blue shirts. Lewis plays it up for Smith. Smith gets it up to Cowan. Lays it off. Once again, Smith plays it up, and a good job by Stangerlin to follow the run of Sydney Corbin. Otherwise, Corbin would have been free on goal. Pitts will try this time. Bounces forward. There's a player on the back post. It's Smith. Smith with the shot deflected off of, I believe, Zubak, and Haley Murray was right there to collect the shot. So what was almost a very unfortunate bounce for Howard. Great reactions by Haley Murray. Long punt by Murray. Bounces all the way to Covert. Nauman will just hit it all the way down, and Vrolt's a little unsure about where her box was. Ultimately does just let it roll in. She will punt it right back to midfield. Hit forward to Stoltz. Stoltz plays it back to Lewis. Halderman will switch the field. Bowen. Cape Fear content with going backwards again, but now Halderman sees an opening. Taken away by Scott. Scott will play it forward. Tries to find Nichols again on the counterattack. Nichols takes it away from Lewis. Nichols trying to just body off Lewis, who's coming from behind. Nichols still inside, but now it's Covert who is able to cover. Nichols with the shot, blocked by Lewis. And Lewis bouncing her step as she was able to slow down that counter. But again, that will behoove for Howard to take a little bit more time off the clock. "14 minutes remaining." Jackson goes short to Zubak. And Zubak will just hit it to the middle, but no Howard sure it's there. Stoltz. Hatmaker pokes it, but only as far as Halderman. Bejarano gets it wide. Corbin and Cowan try a 1-2 ball, but a good job by Stubbs to get in the path of that pass. Looked like the game ball may have bounced over the fence on the far side there, and looking for a replacement ball. It is now put into play. Thrown towards the middle. Bounces a few times. Stoltz gets through it. Stoltz tries to pass to the middle. And a good job. Played out wide again. Cowan. Cape Fear controlling possession. Dominatingly so, but still just cannot find a way through this one. Put in the box by Pitts. Janished. Bodies off Stoltz. Tries to clear it out. Kept in by Cape Fear. Cowan able to turn. Cowan with the shot. Goes wide. And Murray now will take her sweet time getting around the goal to grab the ball. In no particular rush, as the gamesmanship will really start to play out here. Every second mattering, especially if you are Cape Fear. Murray plays up, flicked forward by Scott. Covert comes through. Stangerlin plays it forward. Sonati is onside. Tessa Sonati, she's in on goal. Tessa Sonati into the box. Shot by Sonati and saved by Vrolts, and she puts her hands on her head. Cannot believe that Vrolts was able to save that one. As she tried to curl it around the goalkeeper. But Sonati, still a great run, will give the Dragons a corner kick. Nichols will go to the corner. We are at 11 minutes left. Nichols puts into the box. It's into the goal! Madeline Nichols scores off the corner kick! Unbelievable! Nichols puts in her 4th goal of the game as it goes in off the hands of Vrolts and in. You won't see that very often as a right-footed corner kick on the outswinger. It goes in for a goal. And Howard once again leads 4-2. Nichols, her 4th goal of the game. 17th of the season. And just an all-star performance from the all-region and all-American player. Ten and a half minutes remaining. Howard just needs to hold on. Cape Fear just trying to figure out if they have any cards left to play to get back into this game. Collision between Halderman and Harriets, and an exchange of pleasantries between those two, as some sportsmanship shown by both players. Stangerland finds Harriets to the corner for Scott, and she just falls forward, and it will be played out for a corner kick as Bejarano was the last one to touch it. Once again, it will be Nichols. Nichols puts it in almost the exact same spot, but this time just a little bit too far inside, and it will go on top of the net rather than inside of it. Isabel Covert hits it to the middle for Keely Bowen. Cape Fear now starting to get into desperation mode. They'll hit the ball long. Stoltz unable to get possession, and Dragons will be content with just hitting it right back up as the two teams will exchange long balls back and forth. Almost looks like a game of badminton at the moment. Bejarano will get control of it on the ground. Played forward for Smith. Janish, first two and clears it out. Gets it up to Nichols, and Nichols whiffs on the control there. Now it's going to be Stangerland who bombs it forward. Does Nichols have enough left in the tank to try to chase this down? Covert will turn to the outside, and she is forced to just play it out for a throw-in. And she turns to her goalkeeper and asks, "Why are you not communicating with me to tell me that somebody is on my back and where to go with it?" So now Stangerland will be able to move all the way up the field for this throw-in. Goes backwards to Harriets. Stoltz comes way back to try to get control. And it will be out for another Howard throw-in. Quick throw into Nichols down the sideline. Nichols keeps it in, and excuse me, she does not keep it in. It will be out for a goal kick. 7 minutes remaining. So confirmed final score, CCBC Essex has moved on to the Mid-Atlantic District Championship game, defeating Sussex County 2-0 on 2 goals by Kara Dietrich. That means the winner of this game will face the Knights with a bid to the national tournament on the line. Rolls, punts it forward. Stangerland and Cape Fear just looks a little fatigued right now. But the Howard front line, especially Maddie Nichols, also doesn't seem to have the same amount of energy that she did at the start of this game. Played forward. Hatmaker gets up to Sonati. Sonati tries to touch it around Bowen and does so successfully and wins a throw-in. So both teams will make substitutions. We are now under 5 minutes remaining, which means that if the Dragons were to make a sub, the clock will stop. Thrown in to Nichols, and that is played out by Pitts. Every time that goes out for a throw, and that's another 20 seconds or so that the Dragons are able to just take off the clock before putting it back into play. Snoddy goes short to Nichols. Jockeying for position. Deflected between two players, and it will be out for a goal kick. As you can see in the corner of your screen there, the CCBC Catonsville men's team starting to work their way over to the sideline as the men's Region 20 semifinal game will take place right after this game, with the Catonsville Cardinals going up against the Howard Dragons. That game slated to start at 5:30 and will be aired right here on the Howard Dragons live TV network. So make sure to stick around for that one. Should be a great contest between two teams that just played less than 2 weeks ago. Played out again. And now with 3.5 minutes remaining, you have to imagine if you're Cape Fear, you have got to get the ball down and get a quick goal to have any chance. But before they can do that, they have got to get control. And they do just that. Now they're trying to boom it deep. Hill can't get control. So Harriets will get one last run in with 3 minutes left. Goes out for a Cape Fear throw-in. And you have to wonder if that Cape Fear coaching staff is going to signal towards his defenders to push up higher. As you can now see Prater on the near side starting to move up. Hill goes backwards to Corbin. This will be the final women's soccer game aired here by the Howard Community College Dragons online broadcast, as tomorrow's game will be streamed on the CCBC Essex Knights YouTube channel. Be sure to keep track of the Howard Dragons website, howardccdragons.com, to get that link to be able to watch it, assuming the Dragons are able to hold on for these last 2 minutes. Again, that game would be played at 3 o'clock on the field of CCBC Dundalk tomorrow. Just a minute and a half remaining. And all Howard really needs to do is just try to clear it out. And foul is called, whistle is blown, clock is stopped. And this will be a yellow card to Juliana Bejarano. So it was actually Keely Bowen that was given the yellow card. And if that ball played out, I believe Bowen may look to just check right back in, or the coaching staff led by Ryan Depham may just tell her to just rest it out. And never mind, it will be Bowen coming back in the game. Under a minute remaining as the clock continues to wind down. Howard can sense it. They've been working hard for it all year. They haven't lost a game all year, knowing that this is where they could end up. And that hard work appears to be paying off as they are just seconds away. One more last foul is called on Cape Fear, and Howard will be able to take their time. Janish boots up the field, and that will go to the corner exactly where it needed to be. And the final few seconds will tick down, and the Howard Community College Dragons have taken down Cape Fear and will advance to the Mid-Atlantic District Championship. So there you have it. The Dragons advance to 10-0 on the season, and they will take on CCBC Essex in the championship game tomorrow at 3 o'clock at CCBC Dundalk, with the winner earning an automatic bid to the national championship in Evans, Georgia. An exciting game here, and ultimately it was just the star power of Madeline Nichols and her 4 goals that have helped the Dragons advance and continue their unbeaten record in this incredible year. Well, that will do it for us. On behalf of everyone here at CCBC Catonsville for hosting this fine event, this is Mark Winkle signing off. Once again, final score, Howard 4, Cape Fear 2.